Greetings everyone, greetings. This is Solokozi here. So we're just going to quickly look at the CHF-JPY. So this setup was given on Friday. This was the setup. So we spotted a very good fake out zone there. So that is not the whole point of this video though. So the whole point of this video, it is to emphasize on what I normally update you guys about. Especially those who are trading trend lines. So most of the time I usually say it is very advisable that if you are trading the trend lines, using the trend lines, you should, or it's a must that you are informed about the supply and demand basis. So this will help you to improve your trading when using the trend lines, because now you will actually sell or buy or on the valid zones. You do not draw a line and then expect price to turn. You do not do that. So what I'm emphasizing here is that you really need to have the supply and demand basis knowledge as the background knowledge, as the foundation, before you even apply your trend lines. So I'm going to use this setup as our example. Okay, so as I've said here, that we spotted a fake out. As you can see, we have these equal resistance level or equal highs here, which resulted to R1, R2 and R3, and then we see price piercing above those resistance levels and then dropping up until now. Okay, so us as the supply and demand traders, this is the only thing that we spotted. This was the main reason that we saw this PA here, the fake out, and then we had this beautiful base here which had a very beautiful drop, and then we spotted the shadow QML. So that was our main reason behind this setup, nothing more. Okay, however, I know that some of you guys you trade trend lines, right? So if you were a trend line trader, you were going to draw your trend line after highlighting this base. So that's if you actually have the background of the supply and demand basis. That's if you had the information about this supply and demand basis. As you can see, that we know that on the supply and demand, this is our rally base drop. Okay, so and then we had this PA and then we sold. Right, that was our main reason. But if you were a trend line trader, so you were going to discover, or you were going to spot this base, right, and then you were going to use your trend line. You are going to use your trend line as the second tool to just to check the validity of your setup. Okay, so as you can see here, if you notice here, I've heard that the trend line traders, they mark their trend lines like this, and I have studied the trend lines before. However, I do not trade them. Okay, so and it is believed that you need to have 3 touches. On the third touch, you do what? You sell or you buy on the third touch of the line, right? So this was touch number 1, this was the second touch, and then you would have sold here. Okay, but what I need you guys to know, what I want you guys to know, is that the price did not turn here because it was a third touch. That's what I'm trying to emphasize here, that the price was not turned by the third touch. Okay, because in the near future you're going to draw a trend line like this, having no valid base around that area, and you draw a line like this, you pick up the first touch and the second touch, only to find out in the third touch price is just going to react a bit and then break out, because there is no valid base. There is no area where there are uncollected orders or unfilled orders. Like you've got nothing on that level. So you cannot just sell simply because you're going to be getting a third touch on your vertical line. I mean, it does not work like that, right? I meant on your diagonal line. It does not work like that. You do not just sell or buy simply because it's the third touch. You need to have the supply and demand basis background at least, so that you can always trade your trend lines like with an edge, without any guessing games. So this here will just uplift your confidence. Even if you draw those lines, fine, but having the supply and demand basis background will uplift your confidence, that even if you're waiting for that third touch, but you actually know that the main reason that you are selling or buying here, it is that you have this base. So that's my only point. I'm not saying that people should change how they trade, but this was just my advice to some of the guys out there. I know some of you just do it simply because you were told to do it like that. Okay, but if you can go back on your previous setups, I can pick up bases almost on each and every setup that you had in the past. I can pick up bases on each and every entry that you had, and tell you that the price only turned here simply because of this base. This was a rally base drop, this was a drop base rally, this was a drop base drop, this was a rally base rally. Like I can pick up the bases countless times on those setups, just to show you that the price does not turn simply because you drew the line. It does not. But there are unfilled orders around those levels, and there are bases, the supply and demand rules. It's something that the big guys can never ever break. It's the rules that they can never break. It's something that they can never break. They cannot manipulate the rules of the supply and demand. So this was just my opinion, guys, that if you're trading the trend lines, you just try studying the supply and demand basis. I'm not trying to turn you into supply and demand traders. However, I think this will come in handy for you guys, really. So I hope you find this video very, very informative. I hope it helps you. So if you'd like to learn more or to hear more about the supply and demand basis, you can hit me up. You can check me out on Telegram, SoloCozyFX. You can check me out on Facebook. It's SoloCozyFX. On Instagram, SoloCozyFX Institute. So you can reach me out there and just inquire more about the supply and demand basis, because this has been the main key. This has been the main key ever since. So you just gotta have this on your toolbox. You just gotta have it, because you can never drive a nail with a saw. So if you reach a level whereby you've got to drive a nail, you gotta pull out your hammer so that you can drive that nail. So you can never drive a nail with a saw. So you just gotta be careful, guys. Just take your time. Comment below. Tell me what you think of this. I think we're gonna be making more examples of this, just to show you guys how does this works. If you actually have the supply and demand basis background as your foundation, and then you implement those trend lines, you'll see it will make much more sense. Thank you very much for your time. This is SoloCozyFX. Thank you very much.